How to get more done in 12 weeks than most people do in 12 years. That's the concept by 12-week year, and that's exactly what we're going to dive into. Because most people, 92% of them, will never hit their goals. And I don't want you to be one of them, and I don't want to be one of them either, so that's why I made this video. Awesome. Everything comes down to one big shift, and I'm going to walk you through it like step by step. Thomas Edison said, if we did the things we're capable of doing, we would astound ourselves. All of us have so much potential. We can do so much in this amazing life, and we're all meant to do so much. The only thing that we need to do is we need to see it. We need to embrace that potential that we have in ourselves. And if we want to truly embrace this potential that we have to stop thinking in years. And right now you might be, wait, what? Stop thinking in years? Just hear me out for a second. We've all said, I'll start Monday. I've got the time. But the truth is, time is your worst enemy. That's the lesson I always got from my father, who is very successful in business. Because your brain treats a 12-month goal to a someday goal. And because of that, you don't act. So let's say you want to get a six-pack, right? So at the end of this year, I'll get my six-pack. And January, February go by, and then it's I can skip a week or skip a month, and then I'll get back to it, right? Because there's not that urgency, there's not that drive, I really need to do this right now, right? So that's the problem with setting annual goals. But when you shrink that down into 12 weeks, suddenly every day matters. Every week becomes like a deadline. Every day that you miss really hurts. It pains you. So with that, it forces urgency. Now you have to execute. I think that's really, really fucking fire. The only gap between your dream life and where you are right now is execution. It's literally the only gap. You can achieve anything in your life, and the only thing preventing you from it is doing the things that lead to that life. And this is not only in a personal life, but especially also in our businesses. Did you know that 40% of the revenue, businesses make 40% of the revenue in the last year? No, that was not good. Companies make 40% of the revenue in the last 90 days of the year. So why is that? It's because pressure drives performance. If people have all a deadline, all go to the same goal together, you have that synergy, that vibe, we really need to do this right now. And that's why at the end of the year, everyone feels that. But during the year, we don't feel that. So that's why, once again, when we shrink it down to 12 weeks, we feel that all the time. So maybe you can relate. Ever had those moments where you had to study for a test and you didn't do it until the very, very, very last moment? I did it all the time. It is all because you don't have that deadline. You're I'll do it later, right? But the same is with our year. If we do this, and we do this day after day after day, we're not moving forward as on a level that we could move forward on, right? So, because getting results is actually hard. It costs us time and effort. We have to make sacrifice in order for us to achieve our goals. So we have to put in the effort and the sacrifice in order for us to do it. So that's why if you switch to a 12-year goal, 12-year year, everything changes. Now a deadline is far, but it's not too far away. A year becomes 12 weeks. A month becomes a week. And a week becomes a day. So every moment and day is more important than ever. If you want to hit your 1 year or 12-week goals, you can't have more than 1 or 2 bad weeks. So every day counts. And what I've noticed for myself, I'm way less thinking in okay, I can take the hit now and not do it and do it later. And switching that mindset towards no, I can't afford that hit. I need to get the results right now in order for me to achieve the goals that I have set for 12 weeks. That's been a game changer for me. And with this, you'll achieve faster results. But the question is, how do you do that? Well, it's quite simple. There are 3 steps on how to do more in 12 weeks than most people do in 12 months. Step 1 is the North Star. First, you're going to need a star for where you want to go with your life, a vision for who you want to become and what this person has. It's called like a life vision. Because without a vision, there is nothing. If we want to create anything in life, if we want to succeed or anything that we want in our lives, we have to create 2 times. The first time is in our heads, and the second time is in reality, the execution part. So, in 8 years from now, ask yourself, what do I want my body to look like? Where do I want to live? How do I want to feel? How much money do I want to be earning? What does my partner look like? How are my relationships with my friends and family, etc., etc., etc. It needs to be something you genuinely want, like a desire, something you're willing to fight for. Because if it's not something you want, you'll not be willing to make sacrifices for it. And without that, you won't hit it. So think about like what you really want, what brings feelings of like enjoyment and like happiness and all that inside of you. Because during your journey, you'll notice like, I really don't want this. I really don't want to put in the effort, right? It's easier not to do that. But if you have something that you genuinely believe in, so for example, for me, is I'm gonna move to Costa Rica like very, 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 very soon, like a couple weeks. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing, right? Like with my girlfriend, we're gonna like most likely live together and everything, and just being able to like be completely free and just live remote, and that's something I wanted so bad. And I've been working very hard in order for me to get it, and been able to make sacrifices to achieve it, right? So having that North Star truly helps a lot. And once you have a North Star, then what I did recently is like I removed all my yearly goals, like everything. And I set yearly goals time after time after time, and then sometimes I hit them, sometimes I didn't hit them. When I did hit them within the year, the rest of my year was like shit because, for example, last year I set a goal of $8,000, earning $8,000 a month, and then I hit it in like October. I earned $20,000. I was like, oh, nice. Now I can chill for the rest of the year because I hit the goal. And I didn't do anything for that entire quarter. So that's when you do hit them. And then when you don't hit them, like, you have to rearrange everything again. So removing all your yearly goals has helped me a lot. And now just reframing it towards, okay, what are you going to achieve in the next 12 weeks? It will be more realistic, easier to achieve and attain. And then from there, you can just see the results flowing in. And one thing that has helped me really is like only choosing a maximum of 3 pillars where you want to focus on. So for example, like health, money, and influence. This is called fractionalized training. Long story short, like Olympic athletes found that these like focusing on just like one training or muscle group has way higher results than training everything at the same time. So with your life, it's the same. If you focus on your business and your health and your relationships and moving and Instagram and coaching, like all those different things and aspects that we have in our life, is quite kind of hard. So try to like what works for me at least is having 3 main pillars to focus on, and then just like crushing that basically. So yeah, because when we try everything at once, we make no progress. And I started to see results the moment that I chose only 3 pillars maximum to focus on. And once we have those 3 pillars, the next phase is the keystone actions. Because once we have clear goals for the next 12 weeks, like that's great, but now we still need to do it, right? And the biggest part here is like understanding what we need to do. What is it that really moves the needle? What is it that really brings us like forward? Or how Matthew Thompson says, a friend of mine, what is it that moves the boat forward, right? And identifying this is one of the biggest things that I see people don't do. And when you do this, everything becomes way more easy. So for example, I'm trying to get shredded, right? So I lost 7 kilos over the last 3 months of this year, and then 5 kilos I did in 10 weeks, and then the last 2 kilos I did in 2 weeks. And I was like, why is that? How did I get double the results? So 1 kilo per week instead of a half a kilo per week in just those last 2 weeks. And I changed one thing, and that was like daily calorie tracking. Just tracking my calories, my steps, and my workouts. That was it. Just tracking. And then I noticed that and my weight, because I'm tracking it, I'm paying more attention, and I know instead of like eating a chocolate, I'm like, oh fuck, I have to like track it, right? And to be honest, like also this still is learning progress for myself, but I know when I track everything, like it moves so much more easily. So yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, so that's what I did, and then as I said, it brings me faster results. And one of the things that I learned as well, like if you have difficulty with installing new habits for any reason or anything in your business, swapping them can like help a lot. So instead of like saying, okay, I'm not gonna Netflix, it's gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna go for a meditation, read a book, or whatever it is. Because the hardest thing that you can do is saying that you can't do something. So you wanna like replace it with something else that does bring you closer to the life and the results that you want. This is in your business the same as in your personal life. So awesome. This is basically how you can make progress very fast. And now we go into the last one that everyone is overlooking and is very undervalued. It is counting the cost. Often we forget to achieve that achieving like a goal has a cost, and without knowing it, we're shooting in the dark. Pew, 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 pew. But we have no idea where we're shooting, right? So we have to like delete and swap goals to in order for us to hit our goals. And I'm gonna show this in an experiment right now. So that was my best attempt at explaining as simple as possible why you need to get things out first. And how you can do that is basically you want to list out a list with everything that's not helping you achieve your 12-week goal. This can be like watching Netflix, eating junk food, bad people around you, eating sugar, like whatever it is. And honestly, most people are not willing to do this. They just want to achieve the goal without the sacrifice. But I can promise you, as I saw in that video, it's not working. So get clear on what is not helping you propel further. And for example, two of the things that I cut out of my life is alcohol and sugar for this next season of 12 weeks, because I know it's totally not helping me with getting shredded. And it's quite funny, indeed, if you look closely, you have like two versions of your life. In a way, if we have the life that we are living, and we have the life that we're capable of living. And this is from Stephen Pressfield, The War of Art. And as I said at the beginning of this video, we all have like this amazing potential of being the incredible human being that we are. And with that, make the impact that we want to be making in our business and everything. But we have to choose that life. It's not being given to us. Like the life has been giving us to us. Like that's the greatest gift of all. But we have to choose what version of our lives we want to live on a daily basis. And that choice is not just one thing. It's a daily choice again and again and again and again. And by choosing to let go of the bad habits, you'll be very grateful for yourself. That's what I'm noticing with myself. And a big part of what I think is really undervalued here is like it's all about becoming the version of yourselves that does the things so you can live your dream life. So I'm gonna repeat that because it's extremely valuable. It's all about becoming the version of yourself that does the things so that you can live your dream life. I think about it, right? Like doing habits is one thing, but in order for you to do those habits, you need to do that. So you need to become a person that does it. And by making those choices, for example, to like sacrifice sugar and alcohol, you become closer, you're getting closer to the person that you do want to become. Because if you sacrifice sugar and alcohol, you have more energy, room, and yeah, in a way also like time to focus on the things that do matter, energy basically, right? Because if I'm drinking alcohol, for example, then I might have a good time in the moment, but it's draining my energy. It's draining like my body. It's bad for me and everything, right? So if I'm choosing not to do that, then I have way more energy and flow for the things that do matter. And once again, this can also be in your business, right? Like if you're spending a lot of time in your business in like delivery, let's say 40 hours or like 20 hours a week on delivery, right? You're trying to get your customers a lot of results, but ultimately it's also up to them to do that, right? So if you can bring that down for 10 hours, for example, you can spend more time on improving your business in general and then yourself, and then learn those new tactics to your business. It works with everything. It's all interconnected. That's basically what I want to say. So, as I said earlier, the only thing standing between the life that you want and the life that you're living right now is that it's about execution, right? Taking action. So it's a choice. Either you keep doing the habits that won't bring you forward and stay unclear, or you follow those next 3 steps and switch up your life, achieving your goals in the next 12 weeks. Everyone can do this, but only if you take action. So, if you're serious about your life, stop this video and like start paying attention, because if you implement this, you will get more value out of this than like binge watching video after video after video. But if you're not, like it's just another video, right? So, and I really want you to make progress here. So here's an assignment. Create a commitment for yourself for the next 12 weeks and ask those the next questions. First of all, what transformation am I committing for the next 12 weeks? For me, it is this. Right now I have around 20% body fat. I want to go to 15% body fat. My business is doing around $8,000 in profit, and I want to bring that to $15,000 in profit. And with YouTube, I decided to do this actually. I uploaded 6 videos now. I want to get up to 12 quality videos per week, at least. And that's the transformation I'm committing towards. And I want to ask you, like, do the same or make a similar commitment. Once again, choose 3 parts of your life that you want to work on. It can be body, it can be business, it can be YouTube, it can be anything you want, in order for you to move the needle towards who you want to become, the life you want. And then it is asking, like, what can I do on a daily basis? One sec. What can I do in the next 12 weeks to get close to that vision? Think about those daily keystone habits, right? So, for example, my body is tracking my daily calories, everything tracking. I know if I do that, then I'll get close to my goal. With business, is making 3 sales a week. So, how can I do that? It's, for example, like doing 100 outreaches, or also making YouTube videos like this, etc. And on with YouTube, it's uploading 1 video a week. Now, that's basically the result. So if I want to like narrow that down, it's like 2 hours of content creation, or 1 hour. Let's say 1 hour. Nice. So 1 hour of content creation every day, daily. And then if I want to make 3 sales a week, now let's say I need to do 2 offers per day. And then in order to do that, right, you need to have 4 calls. Generate 4 calls. And how to do that is then do, for example, 100 outreach. For example, right? And with that, it all comes down, okay, if I do 100 outreach, I'm going to book 4 calls. And from those 4 calls, I'll offer 2 people. And then per day, which is then around like 0.75 sales. And then I come to 3 sales. That's it. So, yes, this is really important to have this clear for yourself. And then the next thing is, what do I want to sacrifice in order for me to achieve my goals? Now, for example, for me, my body is like sugar and alcohol. I'm going to sacrifice that for the next 12 weeks. And then for my business is time and focus. And for YouTube, it's indeed 1 hour a day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post an update about what it's going to be every 4 weeks. I really recommend you doing that as well, because if you have some kind of accountability to yourself, it can be on YouTube, it can be for your friends, your family, your business, like wherever it is, share the progress, because by sharing the progress, you'll help yourself stay in that alignment of what you truly want. And I can promise you, if you commit to this transformation and like make a post out of this or make a video out of this or make commitment from this, you'll get more value from this video than watching tens of hours of videos. And I want you to make more progress in the next 12 weeks than most people do in the 12 months. And I want to end off with this one thing, which is this will only work if you commit. And there is this story of the chicken and the pig. And it goes like, the chicken contributed the egg to the breakfast. So the chicken is like interested in the breakfast. But the pig, as you can see, is very committed to the breakfast because the pig contributed the bacon. A commitment and being interested are two completely different things. And having that commitment with yourself for achieving the goals that you truly want will change so much. So I really want that for you. I'm wishing that for you. If you like this video, amazing. Give a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And of course, stay limitless.